Almost everyone in America knows of the infamous serial killers Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, and even the unknown, like the Zodiac Killer. When writing about killers, like the ones mentioned before, one of the reasons explained as to why these people kill is linked to what is known as the McDonald Triad. The Triad of Evil, the Homicidal Triad. This triad is three characteristics that are said to lead to a killer. To fit into the triad, you need only two of the three traits. These traits are animal cruelty, enuresis or bedwetting, and fire setting. If someone, usually an adolescent, has two or even all three traits, it is said they could grow up to be a killer. This theory is widely speculated, with many psychologists disagreeing. They say there are many people who have killed that don't fit into this triad. Today I'll be explaining why this triad came to be, why the three parts are what they are, and why it is believed these can lead to a killer, and those who disagree. Forensic psychiatrist J. M. McDonald wrote a thesis in the 1960s called The Threat to Kill. In his thesis paper, he explains that he began his research into what makes someone homicidal after the shooting of 44 people by Charles Whitman in 1966. He began this thesis to try to find a way to provide guidance on the assessment and emergency assessment of a homicidal potentiality and how to possibly stop those who are homicidal before they kill. In his thesis, McDonald studied 52 non-psychotic and 48 psychotic patients who all had threatened to kill someone. McDonald's hypothesis was that those who committed homicide have a significantly higher likelihood of having parental brutality, parental seduction, childhood fire setting, cruelty to animals, and enuresis in their past. While he never could prove his hypothesis, many researchers have tested his hypothesis since. Because of these continuing studies, many people know of the McDonald Triad. It has been referenced in movies and TV shows, such as the very popular show Criminal Minds. This causes a lot of misinformation to be spread, as the original hypothesis has yet to be proven. But the theory is still commonly used all over America. In the article, Homicide Triad, Predictor of Violence or Urban Myth, Karen Franklin points out that even today, veterinarians are encouraged to identify those who hurt animals as potentially lethal. The parental brutality and seduction have been left out of most of these studies. I couldn't find an exact reason why. The first of the three traits that makes up the triad is enuresis, which is also known as bedwetting. This is not bedwetting as an infant or a small child who is potty training, but as an older child. Many people ask, well, what does this have to do with homicide? One of the causes of older children wetting the bed can be related to psychological factors such as abuse, stress, parental conflict, trauma, or even hospitalization. While these things don't seem like things that can cause someone to kill, everyone responds to stress and trauma differently, and in some people, this can lead to disorders such as antisocial personality disorder and many more. Antisocial personality disorder is what used to be called sociopathy. People with antisocial personality disorder often ignore or disregard the difference between right and wrong. They can be hostile and eventually aggressive towards people and animals. They often don't know what they are doing is wrong, or they just don't care. The most infamous person with antisocial personality disorder was in fact Ted Bundy himself. In Barrett Bogard's article, The Making of a Serial Killer, he notes some of Bundy's most famous and creepy quotes, such as, "I don't feel guilt for anything. I feel sorry for people who feel guilt." While Ted Bundy is an extreme case and many people who have antisocial personality disorder live normal lives, he is an example of what can go incredibly wrong. The next trait is fire setting. A lot of children are fascinated by fire, but most children don't set fires. According to the National Institute of Health, a fire setter is an individual who sets fires for various reasons. This is not to be confused with a pyromaniac. Child fire setters are usually curious about fire, and they want to learn more, while pyromaniacs have an impulse and a desire to set intentional fires. They often feel joy or pleasure from their fires. Kids who are setters do so out of curiosity. They want to learn more about it. The only link I could find to homicidal tendencies is that there is a relationship between a child fire setter and antisocial behavior. There are no studies that can prove fire setting as a child can or will lead to homicidal tendencies. The last trait is animal cruelty. While animal cruelty is usually associated with PETA campaigns, The Song in the Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLachlan, and dogfighting rings like the one Michael Vick ran, in reality, animal cruelty is so much more common. According to the National Humane Society, 71% of domestic violence victims reported their abuser would also go after their pets. In an article from Psychology Today, Joni Johnston writes that some of the motives for adolescent animal cruelty are peer pressure, curiosity, relief of boredom, phobia of the animal, post-traumatic play or reenacting their trauma, practice, or the animal is simply a vehicle for emotional abuse, to use against a sister, a brother, a parent, a child. She also made sure to point out the fact that violence committed against animals is not 100% true sign that someone will be a homicidal maniac. It does, however, mean they need professional intervention. The McDonald triad has been in the public eye for 53 years. It has been used in real life through psychologists, forensic psychologists, investigators, the FBI, as well as on the screen through shows such as Criminal Minds. Today I have explained to you what it is and the science behind it. Thank you.